What's going on guys, it is Panjno here, and today I'm going to be bringing you guys the ultimate FPS increase guide for Borderlands 3. This video will be helping you guys achieve the very best performance possible, reducing any stuttering and lag you might be experiencing regardless of your system specs. Whether you guys are running on a really old potato laptop all the way up to the latest and greatest in gaming hardware, this video is going to be helping you guys achieve the very best FPS possible, the most stable FPS possible, and allowing you guys to achieve the very best playable experience for your PC and the hardware within inside of it. For the best results throughout this guide, make sure that you do click on the corresponding configs and folders in which match your system specs, as you'll be finding the best results within inside of them. And if you guys do enjoy this video and are happy with the results by the end of it, please do leave a like on the videos, it helps me out tremendously, alongside leaving any results, questions, queries or suggestions in the comment section down below, as it is always fantastic to hear from you. And if you do enjoy my content and wish to stay up to date with the channel, please do consider pressing the subscription button alongside the bell notification to be notified instantly of whenever I upload. With all that being said and done, let's get straight into the video to keep this as fast and as informative as possible. So jumping straight on into the optimizations, first of all what we're going to be doing is to ensure that we are running on the best platform possible, which is going to be the latest version of Windows 10. Regardless of your system specs, if you're running on Windows 10, ensure that you are running on the latest version. To check the version of Windows you're running on, simply navigate to the bottom left hand side, click on the Windows key and type in WinVer just like so, and click on the command. With inside of there you'll then be finding the Microsoft Windows version, and it should say version, and you're looking for 1903 as of the time of recording this video. But if you guys are running on 1809 or anything older than 1903, if your number is less than this, you're going to want to update Windows, as there has been a ton of gaming fixes and optimizations towards lower end hardware with inside of the 1903 update. What we can then go ahead and do is actually download the FPS increase pack in the description down below, which holds all of the optimizations, configs and everything we need to follow along with the guide. So navigate into the description down below, you'll be finding two download links. Simply click on the first download link. If for some reason you're having trouble downloading it, try out the second one, download the file and place it onto your desktop, and you'll be given a folder called Borderlands 3 FPS by Panjno. Now you won't be able to open up this folder by default, so right click and select the option to extract here. If you do not have the option for extract here, you'll need to take yourself over to Google and either download WinRAR or 7-zip. Once you've got one of those programs downloaded, you should then be able to come over to the file and right click and select the option for extract here. Once you guys have extracted it, you'll then be given a folder on your desktop with an identical name. To kick things off, what we're going to do is actually apply some basic optimizations to the application or the exe of Borderlands 3 itself. And to apply these, what we're going to be doing is navigating into the bottom left hand side, clicking on the Windows key and selecting Documents. With inside of here, we're then going to go over to this PC. With inside of this PC, we're then going to be going to the installation directory of Borderlands 3. If you installed it to the default location, it's going to be found inside of your local disk C drive, program files. Then we're going to scroll down all the way to the E section and look for Epic Games. Go inside of Borderlands 3, and we can start off by going to the Borderlands 3 application found here. What we're going to do is simply go over to the Borderlands 3 application, right click, go down to Properties, Compatibility, then check the option for Disable Full Screen Optimizations, change IDPI, and override the high DPI scaling behavior, press OK, apply and OK. We're also then going to be going inside of the Oak game folder, going into Binaries, Win64, and once again applying those same optimizations, so right clicking, go into Properties, Compatibility, disable the full screen optimizations, and override the high DPI scaling behavior, press OK, apply and OK. Now that we've applied the application fixes, and assuming that we're already inside of the Borderlands 3 installation directory, I'd recommend going up to the top and clicking to the Borderlands 3 folder, so you're brought back to the main folder. And what we're now going to be doing is actually disabling all of the intro movies or screens, so the game actually boots up a lot faster and you don't have to watch all of the splash art for the AMD stuff. This is actually very simple and easy to do. We're going to be going inside of Oak game once again, going to Content, and starting off by going into the Movies folder. With inside of here, I'd then recommend right clicking anywhere and making a new folder and just calling it Cut or something random, so you can store the movies we're going to remove. So you don't actually have to delete them. So if you wish to install them back, you'll just drag them out of the folder. So once you've got your folder, what we're then going to be doing is actually dragging in the 2K logo movie into the folder, AMD logo, GBX logo, and also the MP4 file titled Loading. Once you guys have got all four of those found within inside of there, we can then go ahead and back out of that folder and go to the Splash folder. With inside of Splash, we're also going to be doing the same, so new folder, titling it Cut, and dragging the Splash BMP file within inside of there into that folder, and we can then go ahead and exit out. Proceeding on from there, what we're now going to be doing is actually going inside of the FPS pack provided and going inside of the Optimisations folder. Once inside of the Optimisations folder, we're then going to be going inside of the BL3 Process Priority folder, and with inside of it you'll be finding these three registry keys. You'll be finding Borderlands 3 above normal priority, high priority, and normal priority. Clicking any of these keys will change the Windows registry directory, so it actually will boot the game into high priority mode with inside of Windows, above normal or normal priority. As high priority will give the best results for pretty much everyone out there, we're going to go ahead and double click on high priority. Select yes, yes, and OK, and those Windows registry edits have now been made. and we can proceed to set up the Epic Games Launcher and install our customized launch options. To do this, what we're going to be doing is navigating to the bottom left hand side, typing in Epic and opening the Epic Games Launcher. With inside of the Epic Games Launcher, we're going to be navigating down to the bottom left hand side to the settings cog, and we're going to start off by copying all of my settings found within inside of here. For the best results possible, I'd recommend unchecking all of these options besides minimize the system tray and enable cloud saves. Once you guys have got those settings set up, we can then proceed to scroll all the way down to the Borderlands 3 tab within inside of Manage Games, click on the drop down menu, and we're going to select the option for additional command line arguments. With inside of here, what we're going to be doing is simply typing in dash, no startup, movies, just like so. It can be in caps or non-caps, it doesn't particularly matter. Once you guys have got that set up, just like so, you can find this also in the FPS pack if you're worried about having any spelling mistakes, and you can copy and paste it through there. Once you guys got that set up, simply go ahead and press enter, and we can then go ahead and simply minimize the Borderlands tab. Go back out of the settings tab, and we can then proceed to minimize the launcher. Proceeding on from there, before we actually go ahead and install the customized optimized game configs, it's important that we apply some very quick and effective optimizations to Windows itself and also the gaming applications. So to do these, what you'll simply go ahead and do is boot into the FPS pack provided, go to the Optimisations folder, and navigate inside of the Reg Optimization Fixes folder just like so. With inside of here, you'll be seeing a bunch of different registry keys in which we're going to be going through and enabling. Every single person watching this video right now, regardless of your system spec, should be applying every single registry optimization with inside of here. So what we're going to do is start off by going to Disable DVR1, selecting this, pressing yes, enabling it, and pressing OK. Navigating down to Disable DVR2, yes, yes, OK. Then enabling the full screen fix. This will apply a optimization to full screen games with inside of Windows and how they behave, allocating them more resources, and in most cases reducing stuttering. Double click, yes, yes, OK. Then navigating down to game optimizations, once again enabling this. Now for these two optimizations found with inside of here, you're only going to be clicking on one of them. So if you're running on a low to medium end system, you'll click on the low to medium end optimization. If you're running on a medium end to an ultra high end PC, you're going to click on the medium to high end optimization. So seeing that I'm recording this video on my high end gaming PC, I'm going to be going with medium to high, double clicking, yes, yes, and OK, and all of the registry fixes and optimizations have now been applied. That now leads us on to installing our customized optimized game configs. For this, you're going to be going inside of the FPS increase pack once again, and going inside of the config folder. With inside of here, you'll be finding 4 folders, from high end, low end, medium end, and ultra low end configs. For the best results for visual quality and FPS, it's recommended that you click on the folder which corresponds to your system specs. So if you're on a low end PC, click on low end. If you're on an ultra low end PC, click on ultra low. So for me, again, seeming I'm recording this on my high end PC, I'll be going inside of the high end config folder, and you'll be met with an engine and a game user settings INI. To install these, it's very simple and easy to do. I'd recommend dragging this folder off into the right hand side, navigating into the bottom left hand side, clicking on the Windows key, and going to Documents. With inside of your Documents folder on the left hand side, scroll all the way down to the M section and click on the folder for My Games. With inside of here, we're then going to navigate to the top and click on the Borderlands 3 folder. Go inside of Saved, Config, Windows No Editor, and with inside of this folder, what we'll simply go ahead and do is go over to the right hand side to the Customized Optimized Configs, drag them inside, and replace the files inside of this destination. Once you guys have done that, you've now successfully installed your customized, optimized Borderlands 3 config files. Assuming that we've now applied most of the actual game-specific optimizations, what we're now going to be doing is actually booting into the game. We're going to be going through my recommended settings depending on your system specs, tailoring your settings to your personal preference, and once we've done that, we'll then exit out of the game and apply some very important Windows optimizations, which are almost more important than the optimizations for the game itself. But for now, what we're simply going to go ahead and do is go to the Epic Games Launcher, go to Library, and boot into Borderlands 3. Do bear in mind that you will not see a splash screen come up, and it could take a few more moments than usual to boot the game, as we've removed all of the intro movies and stuff, so do not panic if it takes a few moments for the application to actually open up. Once you've booted into the game, navigate to the left hand side to the Options menu. It's important that we navigate down to the Network and Social tab, as this can help out drastically with lag and micro stuttering, depending on whether or not you're playing with people or not. To start off with inside of here, we can go to Group Privacy. Now, if for any reason you guys are not playing online with anyone and you don't wish to play online with anyone, I'd recommend going to Group Privacy and actually setting this to local only, as this will stop your game being joinable by other people and being open to the public. If you also don't wish to use any of the other networking or social applications within inside of the game, as you don't wish to play this with anyone, it's also recommended that you turn off the social notification frequency, turn off trade requests, turn off the EchoCast Twitch extension, Rare Chest event, Badass event, and the Pinata event as well. Or if at any point you do wish to go back online, it's absolutely fine. You can just simply change your group privacy back to online or open to the public or invite only, and turn these options back on. But for me, seeming I just wish to play this game as single player only, I'm going to be going with local. And for any of you guys running on ultra low end or low end PCs and you really want to get the most FPS possible and you're not too bothered about the visual quality, it's also recommended that you go to the gameplay tab and actually turning the gore to censored. This should disable most of the blood effects and extra effects within inside of the game, and will just remove some of the animations and excess stuff rendering on your screen. At this point we can now take ourselves up to the Visuals tab. With inside of here we're going to start off with the display mode. Most of this should already be set up correctly depending on your system specs and already be set up to a recommended setting because we installed our customized optimized config before. But if for any reason you wish to come in here and fine tune any of these settings, you can. Just make sure that your display mode is set to full screen. Also do bear in mind that you can come down to resolution scale and turn this to below 100% if you wish to get more FPS. Some people might find 75% fine, you can keep going down lower and lower. For any of you guys running on lower end systems, you could set the resolution to 1280 by 720 and then you can also come inside of the resolution scale and set that to 50%, giving you a much lower rendering resolution than you can normally set if you keep your resolution as your standard resolution. So it's worthwhile going around and actually playing around with that if you wish to get more FPS. I'd also always recommend turning vertical sync off as this introduces unnecessary input lag. For personal preference options, make sure that you do come inside of the field of view tab and set this back up to how you wish to have it. After we're done with inside of there, just go ahead and apply those options and click on the advanced tab. With inside of here, we're then going to go inside of the graphics API and keeping this to DirectX 11. DirectX 12 could come out in the future and might have future updates and where it might actually perform better than DirectX 11, but for now, keep it at DirectX 11. Performance stats, I'd recommend turning on FPS, or you can turn on all if you wish to do so you can see your information in the top right hand side with a nice discrete FPS counter. You can then take yourselves down into the graphics options and these should already all be optimized depending on which config you installed. Do bear in mind that you can come in here and turn some of these options higher or lower depending on your personal preference, but for the most part I'd recommend not touching anything. You can come in here with inside of the anti-aliasing option and change this if you wish to do so because I know this is a personal preference and a lot of people do like it, and you can also turn on motion blur if you wish to do so as it doesn't really have too much of an impact with inside of the visual quality. But for the most part, the config in which you installed earlier on should have given you the best settings to keep as many of the visual quality settings as high as possible, but giving you the best FPS for the best trade-off for your system specs. But for my main PC, which is what I'm playing on now, going from medium to ultra gives a very minor visual boost, but takes away nearly 50% of the FPS, so I'd recommend keeping the settings in which came in the config. At that point, what you can also go ahead and do is navigate to the top right hand side and you can actually start the benchmark from the main menu. This will give you your average FPS and average frame time. And for a little bit of fun, you can take yourself into the description down below and actually post the average FPS in which you now get. So assuming that you guys have now set up all of your in-game settings, what we can then go ahead and do is actually go ahead and exit out of the game, as we're not ready to play the game yet, as there are still a few Windows optimizations in which we need to apply to get the very best FPS possible, not just with inside of Borderlands 3, but pretty much every game you play. So to kick things off with the Windows optimizations, we can navigate into the bottom left hand side and we're actually going to be typing in power plan, just like so. Once you guys have got that typed in, simply look for any of the options with this battery with the cord going around it. We're then going to proceed to go up to the directory tab at the top and click where it says power options. Now for anyone that might have already enabled custom power plans with inside of Windows or done some of these power optimizations, make sure that you do come in here again to make sure that everything is still set up, as the latest Windows updates, especially if you applied it from this video, would have set most of your settings back to default. So if you've applied a few of these optimizations in previous videos or just over time, make sure that you do come in here and follow along with these again, as you should be seeing some fantastic results. Once inside of the power options, we're going to be going down to the show additional power plans menu and you should be seeing balanced, high performance and power saver. For most of you watching this video, you should not be seeing the ultimate performance power plan, but this is actually a secret high performance power plan which can be unlocked on any Windows 10 PC. Regardless of your system specs, whether you're running on an ultra low end PC all the way up to the latest and greatest in gaming hardware, you should be running on the ultimate performance power plan, as this will drastically reduce input lag, stuttering that you might be experiencing with inside of games, and overall boosting FPS. This is one of the most important optimizations with inside of this entire guide, and it's highly recommended for everyone as it's very simple and easy to enable. If you don't wish to follow along with this step, you can simply enable the high performance power plan, as this should be good enough. Once you've enabled that, you can exit out. Otherwise, if you want to go with ultimate performance, simply minimize out of the power options. Navigate inside of the FPS pack provided and double click on the command text document. With inside of the command text document, go all the way to the right hand side, highlight and drag all the way to the left and copy the entire command. Once you guys have done that, go ahead and exit out of the text document and minimize the FPS increase pack. Navigate into the bottom left hand side and type in CMD just like so, and this part is very important. Make sure that you right click on CMD and run this as an administrator. If you don't run the command prompt as an administrator, this command will not be recognized and nothing will happen. Once you boot into the command prompt as an admin, simply then hit Ctrl plus V on your keyboard to paste the command and then press enter. Once you guys have done that, you'll be met with Power Scheme, GUID, Ultimate Performance, and that has now been enabled. We can then go ahead and actually exit out of the command prompt, navigate back into the control panel power options, go to the directory tab at the top, click on the refresh button, go to show additional power plans, scroll all the way to the bottom, and you should then be met with the ultimate performance power plan. Simply go ahead to the checkbox found within inside of here, check that power plan, and we can then exit out the power options. Piggybacking off of that step, what we're now going to go ahead and do is actually optimize our Windows power plan. Simply boot into the FPS pack provided once again, go inside of the Optimisations folder, and going into the quick CPU setup and double clicking. With inside of here at the bottom side of the screen now, you'll be seeing a brief explanation as to what this program does and why you wish to use it. To set the program up, simply go ahead and press next, accept the terms, press next, and install. After a few short moments, the program will then be installed. Make sure that the launch option down here has been selected and then press finish. You'll more than likely be notified that a newer version is available. You can update your version if you wish to do so. I tend to not bother, so I'm just going to click close. With inside of here, it's actually very simple and easy to set up, but can look a little bit confusing. So to start off, what we're going to be doing is going to the System Power Plan drop down menu, and we're going to select the power plan we set up earlier on. So if you're still on balanced, click on balanced. If you're on ultimate performance, select ultimate, or if you're on high, select high. I'm on the ultimate performance power plan, so I'm going to click on that. What we're then going to do is navigate to the bottom left hand side to the core parking index, dragging the slider and dragging this to 100% to allow us to have utilization of 100% of our CPU cores as and when games might need it. Navigating over to the frequency scaling index and once again dragging to 100%. And for most of you watching this video, you should have this option available. Go to turbo boost index and once again drag this to 100%. Once you guys have got all four of those options applied, navigate to the bottom right hand side and press apply just like so. It'll then notify you that changes have successfully been applied and press OK. It's a very simple, easy and extremely important optimization to apply. At that point, we can go ahead and exit out of the quick CPU setup as the optimization has been completed. That now brings us on to a very quick fix for most of you guys that use Discord. If you have Discord open, regardless of whether or not you're using it to actually talk to people, if you have the application open whilst playing any game, not just Borderlands, you should apply this fix as there is no downsides to it. Just boot into the Discord app. Once inside of the Discord application, navigate to the bottom left hand side to your user settings, click on the user settings cog. With inside of here, we're then going to proceed to go to the left hand side. The tab we're going to be looking for is the appearance tab on the left hand side. With inside of the appearance tab, scroll all the way down to the bottom to the advanced features, go to the feature titled hardware acceleration and turn this off. Click OK to the warning that comes up and Discord will be restarted and hardware acceleration will be disabled. That now brings us on to some of the final steps with inside of this video before we're ready to actually go ahead and boot into the game and be done with the optimization guide. For the next step, it's actually highly recommended that you keep your GPU drivers up to date. For any of you watching this video, if you've personally never installed a GPU driver manually yourself, or ever updated one, it's highly recommended that you take yourself into the description down below and click on the corresponding link for the graphics card you have installed. You can usually find out which graphics card you have installed by right-clicking on your desktop and you'll either see the NVIDIA control panel or the AMD Radeon settings panel. Navigate into the description down below, and if you're running on an NVIDIA card, click on the NVIDIA driver link, otherwise click on the AMD Radeon link. For you guys running on NVIDIA GeForce cards, it's very simple and easy to download and install the latest driver. Once you guys have clicked on the link, go to the automatic driver updates utility, select download, open up the program on which is downloaded. It will then detect and install the latest GPU driver for you and get you up to date with just a few clicks. For you AMD Radeon users, it's a very similar process. Scroll all the way down to the bottom to the auto detect and install Radeon graphics drivers, select download now on the utility, open the utility up, and once again it will detect and install the latest graphics card driver for you and install it. Once you guys have updated your GPU drivers, it's important that you navigate inside of the FPS pack provided once again, navigate inside of the Optimisations folder. With inside of there you'll be met with the GPU settings folder. What you'll do is simply navigate inside of the GPU settings folder and you'll be finding 3 screenshots for the NVIDIA control panel and 3 for the Radeon settings panel. These screenshots will give you guys the best settings for the corresponding control panel, allowing you guys to extract every ounce of performance your graphics card has to offer. Once again, to open up the corresponding control panels, right click on your desktop and open either the NVIDIA control panel or the AMD Radeon settings panel. That now brings us on to the final optimization with inside of this video. Before we apply the final optimization, it's important that we take ourselves down to the bottom left hand side and click on the Windows button, right click on the power button and select restart. It's important that we restart our machines to make sure that all of the registry optimizations and other optimizations we've set up have been applied properly and we're on a fresh boot of Windows. Again, this is probably one of the most important optimizations within inside of this entire video, so it's vital that you follow along with this if you can. To do this, once again, we're going to be navigating into the FPS pack provided and navigating inside of the optimization folder one last time, and you'll be finding the folder for ISLC version 1016 within inside of here. Simply go ahead and drag this folder onto your desktop. You can put it anywhere you wish to do so. For a brief explanation as to what this program does, to set the program up, it's very simple and easy to do. You'll click on the folder. With inside of here, you'll then go ahead and actually double click on the Intelligent Standby List Cleaner application, just like so. Go ahead and press yes. If the program doesn't automatically open, make sure you take yourself to the bottom right hand side, click on the task tray, and you should be seeing this small heartbeat monitor looking application and double click on it. Once the program opens up, we need to do a tiny bit of fine tuning to set the program up properly for our system specs. To start off with inside of here, we're going to take ourselves over to the right hand side and click on the enable timer resolution, go into the wanted time resolution box, and we're going to type in the value of 0.50 and just simply go ahead and delete the extra zeros off the end. Once you guys have got that set up, we can then take ourselves over to the left hand side. For the first box, we're going to be setting the number to 1024, just like so. So 1024. For the second box, we're actually going to be setting this to half of our system RAM. To see how much system RAM you have installed to your system, look at the top here, it should say total system memory. As you can see, I have 16,000 megabytes, which equals 16 gigabytes. This number could be completely different from you, so take whatever this number is and simply roughly half it. So if you have 4,000, set this to around about 2,000. If you have 8,000, set it to about 4,000. For me, I have 16 gigs, so half of that is going to be 8, which should be around about 8196. Once you guys have got that done, last but not least, we can take ourselves to the bottom right hand side down to the memory polling rate in milliseconds, and we can click on the drop down menu. For ultra old and low end systems, you might be finding the best value of 2000. For lower end systems, set this to 1000, and for medium end systems all the way up to ultra high end, set this to 500. Once you guys have got that set up, all there is left to do is navigate to the bottom right hand side, click on Start, navigate up to the top to Purge Standby List, enabling that just like so, and then minimizing the program. And that leaves us with one last thing left to do, and that is to go ahead and actually boot into Borderlands 3, boot into the game, and enjoy the brand new optimized experience. And there you guys have it, that is my ultimate FPS increase guide for Borderlands 3, helping you guys drastically reduce stuttering, improving input lag, and giving you guys the best FPS possible, regardless of your setup or system specs. And you are happy with the results, please do leave a like on the video as it helps me out tremendously. Make sure that you do leave any results, questions, queries, or suggestions for other videos in that comment section down below, as it's always fantastic to hear from you. And if you guys did enjoy this video and do enjoy my content, please do consider pressing the subscription button and bell notification to be notified instantly of updated videos or other community suggested content when it's released. Thank you very much for taking the time to watch this video guys, I've been Panjno and I'm out.